At magandang umaga po sa lahat. Ito na naman po tayo sa Tops Usapang Sports para sa Huwebes ng umaga ng Setyembre 23, 2021. Ako po si Ernest Hernandez, ang magiging host at moderator para sa araw na to. At again, to introduce our guest for today, ipapasok ko na po ang mikropono sa ating presidente na ng Tabloids Organization in Philippine Sports na si Sir Ed Andaya.
Thank you, Ernest. And again, good morning to all of you, and welcome to the 121st edition of our Usapang Sports on Air, presented by the Tabloids Organization in Philippine Sports and sponsored by the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, and the Games and Amusements Board. Ernest, this will be another busy Thursday para sa ating lahat, no? Kasama natin ngayong umaga ang ating kaibigan from the Philippine Academy of Sports, National Academy of Sports, represented by the Executive Director, si Ma'am Joy Reyes. And of course, kasama din natin ang Deputy Executive Director na si Mr. Emil Arroyo. Makakasama din natin ngayong umaga ang magulang ng ating pole vault champion, Tokyo Olympian, and naging Napoli University gold medalist din na si EJ Obiena. Of course, kasama natin ngayon ang gold medalist na rin sa pole vault na si Mr. Emerson Jeanette at ang kanyang may bahay na si Ma'am Jeanette Obiena, na isa rin sa mga officers ng Patapa. Later on, makakasama natin ngayong umaga din ang bagong hirang na coach ng Blackwater Bossing na si Coach Ariel Vanguardia. Ernest, siguro before we start asking our questions, maybe we can request our guests to deliver some opening remarks. I'll start with Ma'am Joy Reyes of the National Academy of Sports. Ma'am Joy, welcome po sa TAPS.
Yeah, good morning, Sir Ed, and thank you for inviting us in your program, which is Tops Usapang Sports. And of course, I would like also to greet the listeners of your program, and looking forward to our engagement today, Sir Ed. So we will talk really about the National Academy of Sports. Thank you so much, and good morning.
Thank you, Ma'am Joy. Kasama din natin this morning ang Deputy Executive Director ng NAS, si Sir Emil Arroyo. Sir Emil, welcome po sa TAPS.
Thank you, Sir Ed. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, sa lahat ng mga sports writers natin. Thank you very much for inviting the National Academy of Sports dito sa inyong programa. More power to you, and we're looking forward to today's session. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Emil. And now, dito naman po sa ating butihing mag-asawa, si Sir Emerson Obiena at si Ma'am Jeanette, na sila po ang responsible sa pagkakaroon ng isang EJ Obiena na right now is world number 5 sa pole vault. Welcome to TAPS, Sir Emerson and Ma'am Jeanette.
Good morning po, and salamat po sa TAPS for inviting us to be your guests, and good morning po sa lahat ng listeners of TAPS.
Okay, thank you po sa ating mga panauhin ngayong umaga, no? Ernest, I'll start the questions na din, no? Kay Ma'am Joy muna, and later kay Sir Emil. Ma'am Joy, this National Academy of Sports, I understand you were appointed last October, and itong NAS is isa sa mga inaasahan natin na talagang makatutulong ng malaki sa sports, no? Especially sa talent identification ng ating mga atleta. Can you tell us more about dito sa National Academy and Sports, and what can we expect dito po sa programa na isinusulong natin ngayon para mas makakita pa tayo ng maraming EJ Obiena at iba pang mga atleta sa ating sports?
Thank you Sir Ed. Alam nyo, simula nung like last year, no? Last year, I just want to inform everyone that the National Academy of Sports was created by virtue of RA 11470. No? So this was established and signed into law by our President, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And we are mandated, no? We are mandated to provide quality education. It's a secondary education, Sir Ed, and the rest of the listeners here, with a special curriculum in sports. So ito ay niludsan ng gobyerno so that there will be a balance between academics and performance. So this is not just about training or having a training facility, but at the same time, since it is an academy, it is a school in itself. No? For one, ito ay eskwelahan. Dito po mananatili ang ating mga estudyante. In fact, we have a 65 pioneer batch already, no? So we have admitted 65 students from different regions, no? So, but we are just really restricted for now for a face-to-face classes. That's why everything will be done virtually. So, yung mission natin, syempre kailangan natin mag-provide ng scholarship, no? That's one of the provisions of NAS. We will be providing a full scholarship to all our students. And itong scholarship kalakip dito ay ang kanilang participation in international events. No, I just want to inform everyone that the pioneer batch, no, will be competing in a different level, and they will also be participating in various international competitions when the pandemic situation will also allow us to engage in such level of competitions. So itong NAS being an academy and meron tayong scholarship, we also prepared kasi nga lahat will be done virtually, no? Everything will be done remotely, even the training. So the academy has prepared a lot of programs and support services to allow us to deliver our services to our scholars, Sir Ed.
Ma'am Joy, paano po nyo pipiliin yung mga atleta natin dito na makakapag-avail ng scholarship sa NASA? Are you in close contact with the national sports associations natin and of course the PSC and the POC? Paano po mag-work itong programa natin sa NAS?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Sir Ed. In fact, no, before we had our admission policy, and before we had completed our admission processes, and maybe even during the time that we were trying to admit students, we have already established a good relationship with all the NSAs, but not all, but some of the NSAs where we yung kung saan nakafocus yung aming sports, no? So we had talks already with athletics. I'm sure si Coach Janet na naka-meeting na namin yan, and even NSAs of Taekwondo and other NSAs that were part of the sports that will be included in the phase 1 of the school year, no, of NAS. So yung mga ang selection criteria natin, ito ay nakasaad, no, sa law, no, even in the IRR, in the implementing rules and regulations, that the admission or itong pag-select namin ng mga bata dapat ay mga medalist itong mga ito, no? They have achieved a certain level of sports performance. They should be medalists in their craft, in their field of sports. But they're not limited in participating from palarong pambansa, but the NSAs, in fact, even the coaches vouch for their accomplishments in regional and national competitions. So yun yung level of qualifications that we have considered and recognized in the admission of our scholars, Sir Ed.
Jay, nabanggit mo yung kanina yung selection process. Does it mean na meron po tayong limit dito na kung ilan lang ang pwedeng ma-admit na mabigyan ng scholarship sa NAS, and dapat merong recommendation from the respective NSAs para makapasok yung atleta? What about yung iba pong mga atleta natin na na hindi pa nagkakaroon ng mga opportunity na magkaroon ng medals sa mga international competitions, how can they avail ng programa na ito?
Tama yan, Sir Ed, no? Everything is being consulted, and we ask for a recommendation, at least proof of evidence, that these students have really competed and have ranked in the podium finish positions. Sa ngayon kasi yung admittance natin, kasi we are providing world-class and we will be training, producing world-class athletes. So sa word na lang yan, Sir Ed, if we will be producing world-class athletes, then yung dapat yung mga qualified na mga atleta ay already the cream of the crop of our country, no? And of course, they will be exposed to trainings. Their abilities and skills and talents will be enhanced and honed, in our supervision. So ito ay binibigyan namin ng emphasis because of course, I think for those who haven't reached a certain level na yung medalists, I think this will be an inspiration for the rest of the kids out there, who are kasi nga isa pa, restricted ang ating competition ngayon dahil nga wala tayong mga local engagements, walang mga local competitions, canceled ang ating mga palarong pambansa, So ngayon ay siguro itong National Academy of Sports and even the results of the Olympics, the current Olympics, ito ay magbibigay ng inspirasyon sa mga bata ngayon, to really strive harder and to excel in their craft, I think I would like to acknowledge also Sir Bong, my deputy, to add more of the things that we need for our search program, Sir Ed.
Yes, thank you, Ma'am Joy. Si Sir Bong is with us. Sir Bong, ilan po mga atleta ang tinitignan natin dito na pwedeng nakapasok sa NAS, and meron po bang limit ang bawat NSAs na pwede nilang i-recommend? Like si Ma'am Janet is here. Ilan po ba? Like sa Patapa, ilan pwede nilang i-recommend na makapasok sa NAS?
Good morning, Sir Ed, and thank you very much, Edie Joy, for the intro. Yes po, the NAS board itself is formed by key persons in the sports scene, our chairperson being the Secretary of DepEd and our vice chairperson being the chairman of the Philippine Sports Commission. So we are in very close coordination with the PSC, the POC, and the NSAs. And with their advice, we have come up with what we call the nascent SAS. It is the National NAS Annual Search for Competent, Exceptional, Notable, and Talented Student Athlete Scholars. So dun pa lang sa pangalan, nakikita nyo na as mentioned by Edie Joy, we're really looking for the cream of the crop. Meron po tayong inclusivity in terms of accepting as many applicants as possible, again, with qualifying standards. And meron pong equity system, through the advice of our board of trustees. We are providing opportunities for people from different regional clusters in 8 focal sports and equal opportunity for male and female. We are also looking for those who come from indigenous peoples. And meron din po tayong the NSA partnerships and collaborations so that we can go back as far as 2 or 3 years in the competition scene in the Philippines, since, as mentioned by Edie Joy, some of the competitions were postponed or suspended in the last year. So we go back as far as 2 to 3 years in terms of our search.
Sir Bong, maganda itong programa na isinusulong ng NAS with the help of the Philippine Sports Commission and the POC. Pero ngayong panahon na may pandemic tayo, alam natin ang sports ang isa sa mga unang apektuhan ng itong coronavirus disease. Paano po ang ginagawa niyo sa NAS para maisulong pa rin ang mga programa sa kabila ng mga madaming restrictions na ipinatutupad ng IATF?
Thank you po. As I mentioned earlier, no, NAS first and foremost is a school, an attached agency to DepEd, and together with all the schools in high school, we launched and started our school year last September 13. So unang-una, ang isa sa mga mabibigat na preparasyon namin is to prepare for the academic school year. And so our curriculum framework was done in tandem with the DepEd, even CHED, the PSC, and stakeholders in the academe. Tapos itong aming sports science division and athlete training division have also put together a sports framework, a training framework for the development of our student athletes. And this was also consulted and triangulated with key representatives from the sport and the academe, and again, including the PSC representatives, NSAs, and the Department of Education. So we have planned the training to be remotely done in different cycles, no? At we hope to develop multiple movement skills as their foundation, so that when they eventually specialize, we can see that they are fully prepared to specialize in their chosen sport, and that mapoprolong ang kanilang athletic career because they have a very strong foundation in movement skills po.
Sir Bong, with the program na sinisulong natin dito sa NAS, medyo mahirap ito. Meron po bang sapat na budget na nai-allocate ang ating pamahalaan para maisulong yung mga programa nyo? Alam natin na mahigpit ngayon ang budget natin sa sports because of the pandemic, and ang PSC galing sa mga malalaking expenses sa mga international competitions like nung nakalipas na Tokyo Olympics. Meron po bang nakatakda na budget ang NAS mula sa ating pamahalaan?
Bong,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, this is the budget period, no? Ito yung sinusulong namin ng aming natitirang recalibrated budget na tinatawag namin, kasi nga we started our classes towards the end of the year, no? So our budget has been recalibrated due to the fact that because of the pandemic situations, there were really honestly there were some items in our proposed budget, in the original budget, that were not already considered because of pandemic situation, no? Lalo na malaking factor talaga yung itong hindi na tayo pwedeng mag face to face, no? So all the programs were hampered because of this, but we are not stopping our programs to proceed just because of this pandemic situation. So kaya nga kanina nabanggit ni D.D. Bong na we opened our classes in time also of the opening of classes of DepEd. So we had a marching order before to really open the classes, no? Kaya puspusan yung aming plano. So yung budget, we would say kakasya naman. Siyempre kailangan lang namin we have to utilize our the appropriations for the remaining months that we will have in this for this year, no? So ito yung we have to distribute already our toolkits, no? So we prepared some materials for the academic requirements and even in training. So we prepared this prior to the approval of our budget, no? In fact, we are still really waiting for the release of our SARO. So but syempre, bago may release yun, meron na kaming na i-prepare. So para pag na-release na yung budget namin, ay tuloy-tuloy na yung aming mga programa that we have prepared for our student athletes. So meron namang sapat at this budget. We are really trying to compress whatever we can to utilize it until the end of this year. Sir Ed.
Thank you, Ma'am Joy and Sir Bong. No? Madami pa po kaming itatanong later on mula sa mga kasama natin dito sa TAPS. Tanungin ko naman si Sir Emerson and si Ma'am Janet. Sir Emerson, can you give us an update sa mga activities ngayon ni EJ? We know na nasa abroad pa rin siya, di pa rin siya nakaka-uwi, no? And after nung mga nakalipas na international competition siya. Ano na po ang mga pinagkakaabalahan ngayon ni EJ? Meron po ba nakaline na pa siya na international competition bago siya makauwi?
Sa ngayon po, wala na po siyang competition. Nasa transition period po siya ngayon. Bali, maybe he'll take a break for a month para ma-decompress man lang. Kasi yun nga, medyo sunod-sunod po yung mga competition niya this outdoor season. And so, before they start the preparation for the indoor season, he'll be taking maybe a month of break just to keep fit, but stay away from the track oval so that he will be missing that venue again. So yun po yung ano natin kasi alam niyo naman po yung preparation niya talagang rigid po specifically doon sa event na yun. So sometimes kumbaga sa pagkain, pagka laging fried chicken ang ulam, magsasawa ka rin. So time out muna.
Sir Emerson, we remember yun na ilang beses ka na rin naka-medal, no, dito sa sport na to, and we all know na si EJ was a gold medalist sa Universidad, no, sa Napoli, and bukod pa ron marami siyang mga nasalihan ng mga international competitions hanggang dito nga sa Tokyo Olympics na hindi siya pinalad na magka-medal. Ano po ang masasabi niyo sa naging performance ni EJ from Napoli University na nanalo siya ng gold medal until dito nag-compete siya sa Tokyo, and itong recently nga meron naman siya mga events na nasalihan na kung saan nga naging number 5 na siya in the world.
Masasabi ko lang po, ang pole vault po ay napaka-complex po na event. Kung nandiyan na yung athlete sa age na nasa ano na siya, yung bang malapit na siya doon sa peak niya, no? Yung bawat sentimetro na i-improve niya, talagang pinaghihirapan po yan para lang maabot. So unlike nung time na he was like a developing athlete, like he's growing fast, he's getting stronger because of this change in yung hormones niya, no? As a young athlete, napakalaki po ng increment ng mga improvement, like maybe 30 centimeter, 40 or 50 centimeter a year. So yung improvement na po yun, hindi po yan every year mangyayari, kasi darating po yung time na ma-reach po ng athlete yung kanyang near potential, and diyan po yung bawat centimeter is worth like maybe a year or more of training. So observing his improvement from Napoli 2019, I think, up to now, yung improvement na yun, nakita ko steadily nag-i-increase. Although hindi na siya yung 40 centimeter or 50 centimeter a year, pero still continuously rising. So I think yung more on do sa skill, maturity ng do sa movement, mastering that yung perfection ng skill, doon po mas nagbibigay ng focus. Of course, at the same time, yung strength po, yung speed, we try to like improve, even like 0.1 of a second doon sa speed niya, it will add up doon sa performance niya. So nandoon po tayo sa stage na yun. And hopefully, yung pong improvement na yun will still continue in the next few years, no? Para maabot niya yung target para do sa Olympics.
Sir Emerson, what about sa Paris in 2024? What do you think ang mga kailangan pang gawin ni EJ para well magka-podium finish siya sa Paris, or marami pang mga preparations na kailangan gawin tayo?
Siyempre sir, importante po yung consistency. Yun po yung isa sa mga pinag-aanohan namin, bibigyan ng pansin, no? To be more consistent at a higher height. So right now, I would call it as consistent pagdating sa 570, 580 range. So we aim to be more consistent on like 580 and up. So to be competitive talaga doon sa podium finish.
Thank you, Sir Emerson. Tanungin ko naman si Ma'am Janet. Ma'am Janet, I know you're a part of the Patapa. Dito po sa nakalipas na Napoli University na kung saan naka-gold medal si EJ, meron mo bang ginawang hakbang ang Patapa para magkaroon naman ng kaukulang rewards yung pagkakapanalo niya ng gold medal? I have covered the university since 2011 na nagsimula tayong mag-join, and I personally know na kung gaano ka prestigious din yung university games nga na tinatawag, na most of the medalists there talagang nagka-graduate din para maging world champions sa Olympics. Pero dito po ba sa gold medal ni EJ, wala po kami nabalitaan kung nabigyan din siya ng kaukulang mga financial rewards based sa existing laws natin na bibigay ng mga rewards sa mga outstanding athletes.
Thank you, Sir Ed. So far naman po, every na nagawa pong achievement ni EJ, Patapa is doing their job naman po to submit everything to the Philippine Sports Commission, and through the incentive law, they're looking at the incentive law, and kung ano po yung appropriate, binibigay naman po. It's just that definitely there's a due process, and meron po talagang processing time that we need to wait. Yun lang po.
Yes, Ma'am Janet, no, kasi alam natin na si EJ is only the second Filipino athlete na nagkaroon ng gold medal sa university, no, after si chess grandmaster Wesley So, na kung saan that time hindi nabigyan ng proper honor, no, kaya nagkaroon ng problema. And isa sa mga naging napag-usapan during that time ni Wesley is the federation or the NSAs ang dapat mag-recommend sa Philippine Sports Commission, no? And dito po ba sa case ni EJ na nanalo ng gold medal sa university, na talagang kung ako itatanungin nyo, katumbas na rin ang gold medal ni Heidelin sa Olympics Games, no? Ano pong status ng hakbang na ginagawa ng Patapa para mabigyan ng kaukulang financial rewards or incentive yung gold medal ni EJ?
Actually, sir, the papers I know was already in with the Philippine Sports Commission po. So, after the Asian Championship, I think sama-sama po sila kasi nagkataon lang po, just like recently, EJ broke the Philippine record in a span of a week, and then establishing the Asian continental record in about 9 days. That is why nagpatong po yung application for that one. Pero definitely po ginagawa naman po ng Patapa yung process. So far as I know, it was already there. Yun po.
Yes, Ma'am Janet, no, susubaybayan po namin dito sa TAPS yung proposal na yan na mabigyan din ng tamang reward yung gold medal ni EJ sa Napoli University, dahil unang-una ayaw natin maulit yung nangyari kay Wesley So na gold medalist sa Kazan University na hindi nabigyan ng kaukulang pansin ng ating pamahalaan. Anyway, Ernest, I'm sure may mga katanungan din yung ibang kasama natin. Let's give them the floor now.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Fred. Ang sunod pong magtatanong sa atin ay si Sir Fred na nasiyad ng Manila Times.
Hey, good morning everyone. Umpisa muna natin sa National Academy of Sports. Ma'am, can you explain to us ano yung setup ng academy ng NAS? Ito ba ay isang regular, I mean, yung mga athletes ba nito may regular classes din, may teachers, may ganun and may mga sections. Can you explain it to us? Anong setup sa loob?
Hi, Sir Fred. Thank you. Yes, as mentioned earlier, no, this is a school and we have started it in line with DepEd's opening of classes. So we have accepted 65 students, no, and we have divided them into 4 sections, no. 4 sections kasi nga ang magiging ratio ng teachers is 1:1. Di ako magaling sa math. So I think 65, 17, no? So that's about
16, 17.
Yeah, 16 to 17 students, no? And very recently, Sir Fred, no, it's good that you have mentioned about teachers. We just had we signed an agreement with Region 3, no? Kasi nga secondary education nito. And we were welcomed by Region 3 teachers. So nag-deploy sila ng 8 teachers, no, that will assist us in the general subjects like English, science, math, etc. So yun, Sir Fred. So we have teachers. Yes, we have teachers. And yun nga, meron silang 4 na sections that will be divided to about 15 to 17 students per section. No, kasi nga 65 lang ang mga students namin ngayon.
Yung 65 students ba lahat yung grade 7?
Yes, lahat ang accept namin is grade 7.
Yun 7 pa lang.
Grade 7. Oo. Yes, grade 7. That's right.
Paano naman po yung may potential siya pero grade 8 na siya, grade 9. So hindi siya pwedeng pumasok dyan?
Kasi ang simula natin, Sir Fred, is from grade 7 talaga. Junior high school. That's why part of the qualification is that dapat graduate ka ng elementary. So dapat grade 6 graduate ka. So grade 7 to grade 12 ang National Academy of Sports.
So lahat ng 65 scholars?
Yes. Yes.
So once you get in, meron bang mga grades na dapat i-maintain yung students? Ganun.
Yes, of course, no, kasi syempre pag scholar ka, kaya nga nabanggit ko din kanina, kailangan balanse, dapat magaling ka din talaga, no? Both, no, academics at the same time sa skills, no? So, meron silang grade. Syempre ang ano naman natin across all schools, kailangan ba wala kang bagsak, siguro mga 75, dapat umabot ka ng 75 ang grade mo para hindi ka bumagsak, no? But of course, what is nice about the academy is that there is a support services, no? They will really be guided. So meron tayong tinatawag na kasi nga since we are all working away from home, so we will also be guiding even the parents so that merong support system ang mga bata ngayon since everything will be done remotely. So the parents will also be part of our journey para magandang support system, no? So yun, Sir Fred.
Doon sa 65, ma'am, ilang percent doon yung from Mindanao and from Visayas? Meron pa yung data na ganun?
Ayan. Again, I will ask Bong to answer that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hi,
meron
Sir
siya ang aking data He has all the data, Sir Fred. Yes, please, Bong.
Yeah. So from Northern Luzon, we have about 27, 8 from NCR, 8 from Southern Luzon, 9 from the Visayas, and 13 from Mindanao. And these are distributed in 8 different sports. And 34 are male, boys, and 31 were female. So halos pantay. 51%, 49% ang lalaki sa babae. The NAS, National Academy of Sports, will be built nga pala in Region 3 in New Clark City. No? So ang isa sa mga partners namin in building the infrastructure is BCDA. And they are currently building our campus right beside the Athletes Village and the athletic stadium dun sa ginanap na 2019 SEA Games po. So it's a 4.3 hectare site in New Clark City, where the NAS campus is already being built. The estimated completion is in the first quarter of 2022 po.
Yung 8 sports na represented, can you enumerate them, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Tsaka yung breakdown.
Opo, ito napakahirap ng decision dito, no? Because after all, what sports? You know, there are a lot of pros and cons to include this sport and that sport and this one and that, no? So in close coordination with our board of trustees and with their guidance and advice, no? So we have 8 focus sports to start off the phase 1 of NAS, no? So the first 2 are mandatory events in any major international competition for which we have Olympians as well. These are athletics and aquatics. So track and field and aquatic events, no? Swimming, diving, and others. It just so happens that the facilities for these are already built. And world-class, napakaganda ng ating facilities dun sa New Clark City when it comes to athletics and aquatics. No, so those are the first 2. And then we have 2 martial art events where we also had 2 Olympians. No? These are Taekwondo and Judo. So in the recent Tokyo Olympics, we had representatives in Taekwondo and in Judo. Then we have 2 racket sports. These are badminton and table tennis, for which we also produced previous Olympians. No? In the Rio Olympics, although pumanaw na siya, rest in peace to our Olympian from the Rio Olympics in table tennis, and then our former Olympian in badminton, si Wina Lim, no, way back in 1996 Atlanta Olympics. And then the other 2 sports are where we have our gold medalist Heidi Diaz, no, weightlifting, and Carlos Yulo of gymnastics. No, so those are our 8 focus sports for phase 1 po.
Sir, napansin ko walang team sports. Bakit walang team sports po?
Very good question, sir. As you exactly the same question we keep getting from many people. No, how you know, bakit yun yung 8? Bakit walang team sports? No. So unang-una, the resources for unang-una by historic data, our success in international competition, lalo na at the highest level, the Olympics, has primarily been in the individual sports. No? So you can look back the past 20, 30 years, and it's really been in the individual sports where the Philippines has had its success. Second, when you want to have a development program where you can track each athlete's development, it is far more difficult to track them according to a team sport. No? And easier to track their development in individual performance events. In team sports also, ang mga national team natin pag pinipili sa team sport ay usually hindi galing sa isang eksklusibong academy or institution. And you get a selection of the top performers from many different schools, and so the team chemistry and synergy is built with a selection of many different athletes coming from different institutions. So being the NAS, we were hoping to be able to hone and track their progress and also allot the resources that we have more on the individual events. But that does not close the door po to their participation and learning the movement skills and the nuances, the teamwork, and from team events. So there are other avenues for that through their physical education classes, their club participation also within NAS. Yun po.
So yung academy ba limited to Olympic sports lang? Hindi kasali yung billiards, darts, skateboarding. Skateboarding is Olympic sport, no? Limited ba kayo sa Olympic sports lang?
For now, yes, sir. For phase 1. No, we are again in close coordination with the PSC and the POC and their own national development programs. No, we try to find our niche kung saan may need at saan makakatulong at ma-maximize ng bansa yung NAS in its national development program for sports, then we try as much as possible to fit ourselves within that po. Edie Joy, you may also want to add a little bit more to that.
Yeah, Sir Fred, kasi as much as we want to accommodate all sports, no, but we have a very limited space. The campus, ito lang yung mga facilities na pwede mo na naming umpisahan. And hopefully in the next phase, no, as we go along with phase 2, then we can, that is already part of our future thinking, no? Looking ahead, what other sports can be included in phase 2, no? Looking forward, no? So kaya we are still focusing on these sports since we felt that these are the sports that are, ito yung mga nagbibigay din pride sa ating bansa, no? Again, we are not disregarding the team sports kasi ako galing din akong team sports, Sir Fred. Volleyball player ako, pwedeng mawala ang volleyball, no? But kidding aside, syempre itong mga bata kasi kailangan din namin malaman kung saan sila nanggagaling, no? Then we will adjust. But again, we have a program in place so that their abilities, their movement literacy will be enhanced, no? And be maximized. So
yung teachers galing sa DepEd, yung coaches naman po, saan po magagaling?
Actually, yan. Good question, Sir Fred. Kasi itong mga coaches natin, since we are looking at highly specialized skills, then ito ay manggagaling sa mga NSAs. Kaya kami nagkaroon ng meeting with the NSAs because we will also be asking their support and assistance to give us their also the support and the best coaches from different NSAs. No?
Last question po. Based on experience po sa mga na-interview ko dati, yung mga NSAs po, meron po silang mga athletes from the provinces na nagtitrain sa Maynila. Pero after a few months, they wanted to go home kasi nalulungkot o may family sa probinsya, mga ganon. Paano nyo po i-handle yung mga ganon situation dito sa NAS?
Yan naman yan ang piniprepare talaga namin, Sir Fred. We have what we call a division, yung Student Athlete Support Services. Ito yung kaya nabanggit ko kanina, meron kaming home NAS to home engagement. Ibig sabihin, we will really make them feel at home and para hindi sila kung baga sa Bisaya, ewan ko may Bisaya ba dito yung mamingaw, no? Di dahil mamingaw and hindi nila ma-feel yung lungkot because we will be really creating an environment where talagang they will really feel a second home kumbaga NAS as their second home, no? Because remember the location of NAS is in the greeneries. I mean it's a very nice environment, no? Kaya maganda din yung naging plano kasi yung location ng NAS ay will be at the New Clark City, which it will, the ecological master plan and development of BCDA will also really be in that kind of napaka-massive na kanilang plano. And magandang sitwasyon kung nasaan ang National Academy of Sports ngayon.
Last na talaga mo. For instance,
okay lang yan.
For instance, pwede na kunyari yung face-to-face classes, tapos andun lahat ng students. Pwede ba silang lumabas? Punta sa city, mamasyal? Are they allowed to go out the academy?
Pag allowed na talaga.
Pag
allowed na talaga. Pero yung mga pagpupunta nila sa city, baka kailangan lang yan yung weekends kasi syempre mga bata yan, kailangan namin silang i-control, no? But of course, tingin ko, Sir Fred, hindi na sila lalabas kasi the New Clark City in itself is a nice city for them to stay and explore, no? Siguro yung mga pamamasyal nila, lalo na sa Clark, ang dami din talagang lugar na pagmamasyal. Siguro that will be guided by their teachers and then and their meron tayong mga door managers, so kailangan ito ay bibigyan namin ng polisiya, no? Kasi hindi natin sila pwedeng pababayaan lang sa labas ng campus. They will be our responsibility. So we need to take care of them.
Thank you very much po, Ma'am Josephine, tsaka Sir
Thank
Emil.
you.
Thank you po. Kay ano naman, Emerson, tsaka kay Janet. Good morning po.
Hi, good morning.
Morning po.
Good morning.
Napansin namin si, of the Olympians, si AG lang yung nag-continue to compete and train after the Olympics. Yung the rest nagpahinga na. Hindi ba naka-feel ng burnout si AJ?
Before the Olympics, naka-set na kasi yung ano na yan, yung mga competition na yan. So that's part of his outdoor season. So, and I think after that Olympics, nakatulong actually para sa akin yung nakapag-compete siya to be able to move forward again. So, like, siyempre, alam naman natin he was really disappointed and has some doubt on himself after that Olympics. And I think that competition after the Olympics helped him gain his confidence again and to be able to look forward. So, yun, actually, yung medyo late lumabas yung 490 plus na talo niya. Pero actually, it was like, yeah, it was there, na nanduto na. Siguro, hindi lang talaga ukol nung time na yun. Pero nagpapakita na yung clearance na yun nung before pa nung Olympics. Pero yung that equipment, especially if you're not familiar, iba yung timing, and it takes time for a pole vaulter to like adjust and feel the timing of the pole. And especially if that equipment is like, for example yung dapat 100% in tune doon sa kakayanan ng atleta. Na kung halimbawa yung atleta hindi siya 100% maibigay, yung dapat ibigay doon sa pole na yun, hindi tatawid ng maayos. So that's why it's not that it's easier to say na, oh, ito na, bagong pole, okay, you use it. But it's not. It takes time to be able to like really familiarize with one pole. Maraming progression ng pole yan. So parang katulad yan ng, ng fishing rod na, okay, ito pang half kilo na isda. Ito yung parang 3/4 kilo o 1 kilo na isda. Hanggang doon sa pating na yung hinuhuli mo. Parang ganun yung niyan, yung stiffness ng pole niya. So it's a gradual progression. So kung ano yung bagong nakuha mong skill at yung bagong speed at strength na nakuha mo dun sa preparation period, babagayan dapat yun ng pole. Yun. So, yun po yun.
Sa tingin nyo ba, naging factor yung, kumbaga yung kaba, yung mental state, yung psychological state ni EJ doon sa Olympics? Actually, first time niya nag-compete. Tsaka matagal lang inaasam yung Olympics, di ba? Nung ando na siya, ano ba yung, niya, kumbaga yung psychological state niya at that time?
Sa tingin ko, sir, kasi usually naman po, if any newbie, especially at the Olympic stage, iba po kasi talaga pag sinabing Olympic, it is the peak of all the competition na an athlete is aspiring to be a part with. Diba? Kaya nga pinaghandaan nila yan for years. And definitely, makikita naman po na may kaba. Iba yung mukha ni AJ nung nagko-compete siya doon. So makikita mo na he wants to do his best, he wants to perform it. It's just that it doesn't happen there. Kaya siguro after ng mga ilang weeks, that's the time nakuha niya yung peak of what he have been training for. Kasi I think may factor po. Kasi iba pag sinabi mong you are at the Olympic stage. Iba yon kahit saang atleta, itanong natin yan. Hindi man ganun kabilis aminin, pero definitely it has a factor. Iba po yun Iba, kasi alam na alam mong yun yung top of all the events or competition that is around, and just being a part of it, it's already an achievement, di po ba? Pero syempre, it's a bonus if you deliver, diba? Yun po.
Sa assessment nyo, after the Olympics, ano yung nasa isip ni EJ na mag-give up na ba siya o mas lalo siyang magpupursige for the 2024 Paris Olympics? Sa tingin niyo?
For a moment, he was really down. And so like he needs some time to like think about it. So, but ngayon, I think, katulad sinabi niya, he was ready to move forward. So, nandoon pa rin siyempre yung mga ah, yung pain na yun, no? Siyempre. And from time to time, siyempre may isip mo yun. Pero what's important now is he's moving
He's ready
forward.
to move on.
And yes. So yun ang ano namin doon. I
And-
think he's a normal person and natural yung disappointment.
And to see po kasi na definitely after what he has achieved after the Olympics, he already proved to himself that he can do it. It's
Correct.
just that it didn't happen at the right
On
time
that
and at the right place. Kaya nga, nung tinatanong niya, sabi nga namin sa kanya, God has a reason for everything that's happening. You just need to go through the process.
You just have to look at Heidelin's experience there.
Yeah.
First,
Totoo.
buti lang ando sa Heidelin.
Yes,
As an
totoo.
example for inspiration
Yes.
for every athlete. Last question po, Ma'am Janet tsaka Emerson. Do you think kailan magpipick si AJ? Or has he reached his peak already? Sa tingin niyo, assessment niyo?
Sa tingin ko, hindi pa naman.
Hindi pa siya nagpipick.
Like right now, yung improvement niya actually very close, no? Yung mga instances na nag-improve siya. Hindi siya yung parang after 6 months saka mag-improve. Mas ngayon consistently small increments pero nasa season. In one season nag-improve siya for like maybe almost 10 centimeter. So that's a continuous na improvement na tingin ko hindi pa siya talaga nandoon sa pinaka best niya. Meron pang pwede pang mag-improve.
Okay, para po sa kaalaman ng mga manonood natin, si Emerson po ay dating atleta din. Ay mag-asawa po, dati po silang atleta, national athletes. Si Emerson po is nag-pole vault din. Ano po personal best mo? Emerson?
Personal best ko 4.95.
Si EJ.
Oh, EJ is, so it's like almost a meter. For 593, no? Almost a meter. Yeah. So yun, ko rin, dagdag ko lang. Yung tungkol sa event na yan, sometimes it will take a lot of time na parang nagpa-plateau ang pakiramdam mo, you're not breaking through. Pero bigla na lang na magkiklik yon and then magkakaroon ng breakthrough. So just like what happened to me during my time na napaako ko sa 460. So silver sa SEA Games. Tapos after 4 years, biglang nagkaroon ng breakthrough. I'm sorry. Nagkaroon ng breakthrough. Biglang tumungtong ako ng 480 and then 490, 495. So sometimes it takes time talaga.
Kasi mahirap pong pag yung bang pag blending ba yung natutunan mong skills and speed pag ima-match with how you use it and transfer it to the pole and then give it back to the athlete. Yung time po na yun hindi ganoon kabilis para maano. And yung poles po na ginagamit for competition, hindi naman po laging nagagamit sa training because you need those adrenaline to push you and give the best para magamit mo siya. So yung pong competition really helps and dun po mas na-blend. Yung dapat na mag-blend po sa skills ng athlete with the pole.
Yeah, just to add yung poles na yan, especially those stiffer ones, it's very hard to like use it during training na kung saan normal ang feeling mo, wala doon yung urgency to like to yung bang yung patay kung patay fight yung ganon, wala yun wala kang kalaban, so yung adrenaline mo hindi kasing taas nung nasa competition ka. And so the right time for the athlete or the pole vaulter to use those stiff ones na isusugal niya yung magte-take siya ng chances is during the competitions. And from experience ay masasabi ko na talagang importante sa pole vaulter ang competition para makagamit siya ng mas matigas na poles. Kasi talagang wala kang choice, gusto mong manalo, gamitin mo yan. Yun, ganun.
Thank you. Thank you very much po, Emerson and Janet. Ernest, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Fred, ang next question will be coming from Sir Ron de los Reyes. Sir Ron.
Yes, thank you, thank you, Ernest. Magandang umaga po. At habang nandiyan si Coach Emerson and the mommy, Coach Janet, the proud parents, no, congratulations, no, on the achievement of your son, EJ Obiena. I remember, Coach Emerson, nakasakay ko kayo either sa shuttle bus or nakita tayo sa airport before the start of the Southeast Asian Games in Kuala Lumpur, 2017. And naibalita niyo nga sa amin noon na nagkaroon ng major injury si EJ, kaya hindi siya makakompete in the KL SEA Games, no? And after that, nagulat ako nung naka-recover si EJ and he was able to compete internationally once again. Can you share with us kung paanong ginawa ninyo at ginawa ni EJ para siya ay makabalik, no, in this demanding discipline, no? Napakahirap itong pole vault. At naalala ko yung aksidente na yun nangyari sa Ultra before the Southeast Asian Games. So pwede nyo bang balikan kung ano ang mga pinagdaanan ni EJ so that he could go back to the top pole vaulter that he is today?
Actually, sir, yung time na yon na one day na lang, no, bago kami umalis,
Yes.
yung aksidente yun nangyari. Hindi niya talaga readily inaccept yun na hindi siya makakalaro. And he was like trying to think positive na maybe it's just it just needs some rest. And he said, ahabol ako.
Yes.
So,
And he even asked the doctor who first looked at his knee and then asking kung pag itinape ba niya to, kaya ko pa bang tumalon, kaya ko pa bang lumaro. Yun. So the doctor told him na pwede mo naman siyang gawin na ganyan, pero nag-ano rin siya ng isa pang opinion. The other doctor told him na it's just only a season that you will miss and definitely you can come back. Kung itutuloy mo siya at magkakaroon ng mas marami pang damage, mas magtatagal for you to recover. That gives him an idea na hindi na siya talaga makakalaro. So yun. Kasi ang ano niya talaga, kaya ko, pwedeng gawa ng paraan, makakarating ako, makakalaro ako. Yun yung ano niya. Pero with the opinion of the doctor telling him na pagka na-push mo, pwede naman, pero hindi natin masasabi kung ano yung mangyari pa at hindi ganun ka ano yung recovery, that gave him that instinct. But after ng ano niya noon, pagkatapos niya, pagbalik din namin from the Kuala Lumpur, because I'm also a technical official there, so pagbalik namin dito, we go through the final ng kanyang MRI and check what is really the happened there. Sa total tear kasi both the meniscus and the ACL. So yun po. Tapos po nag-decide na for operation. After po ng operation niya, he was, before po nag-operation, he even asked everything. He himself asked everything to the doctor. What would be happening? Where would be coming? How could I recover? How fast? How many months should I take? Ang maganda lang po kay EJ kasi he followed everything before the operation. There is already some therapies that need to be done. After the operation, napaka dedicated at sipag gumawa talaga ng lahat ng kailangan niyang gawin. And ang isa pong pa sa kanya that time is that happened, he gave it to Coach Vitaly and tell Coach Vitaly what happened to him. The Coach Vitaly answered him that I will be here, my boy. That gave him
that hope
that he has still someone there after na tutulungan siya. So yun po yung ano.
So yun po yung nakita kong yung hope. Dumadating po yung time na nagbe-break siya. Parang self-pity and everything. Pero dahil meron siyang pinangahawakan na taong maghihintay sa kanya, na handa pa rin siyang i-train kahit na nagkaroon siya ng ganong klaseng sakuna. Malaking bagay po yun. Kaya yung respeto niya doon sa coach na yun, napakataas. Kasi sira na siya eh. Pero sinabi talaga nung coach na yun, nandoon ako nung time na yun. Sabi niya, my boy, I'm just here. I'll be waiting for you. So yun po yung pinanghawakan niya. Kaya yung lahat po ng hirap ng therapy na yun, tiniis niya yun para lang makabalik po talaga.
And if you could see, the first comeback niya po is the Asian Games, which is in Jakarta. And at the Asian Games po, he already ranked 8. He was already, I think, 10 months after the ACL injury.
Oh,
Ganun po siya dedicated. And kahit wala po ang therapist, as long as given to him what to do, yun lang po ang maganda sa kanya. Nasa puso po kasi na talaga. Gagawin niya at gagawin niya kahit pa, kasi siyempre minsan umuulan, hindi makakapunta yung therapy. So yung therapist sasabihin sa kanya what you need to do, gagawin niya po yun kahit wala yung therapy. And sometimes gumagawa pa nga po siya ng overtime just to strengthen all the things, kasi mayroon po siyang, may protocol po kasi na pag pumunta siya kay doctor ulit, kailangan makita ni doctor ito to continue for the next one. So yun po siya.
Progressive.
So, aggressive siya pagdating niya doon sa kanyang recovery. And yung tungkol doon sa ano ba to? Yung tungkol po doon sa kanyang pagbabalik. Siyempre, maybe yung legs na yun na na-damage, makaka-recover, pero siyempre it's not 100%. Pero ang encouraging word na binibigay sa kanya ng ay may ibang paraan eh. Okay, sabihin na natin medyo hindi ka na ganun kataas tatalon. You will not be 100%, maybe 98%, 99% lang yung But you can still catch up with other attributes. Like for example, okay, daanin natin, dagdagan natin sa speed. Kunin mo sa speed, kunin mo sa strength ng upper body mo. So still be able to try to maximize whatever yung meron yung katawan mo. So yun ang that's why nag-focus siya do sa strength training program niya. He wants to be strong kasi alam niya na hindi magiging 100% yung take off leg na yun dahil nagkaroon na nga ng problema dati na nagkaroon ng injury. Yun po.
Pero would you say that by this time yung injury na yun ay completely healed na? Or is it still bother him?
Sometimes nagfe-flare up po ulit yung tendonitis niya doon sa patella kasi doon po kinuha yung tendon na i-degraph doon sa kanyang yung ligament na ginamit para doon sa repair ng ACL niya. So from time to time nagkakaroon ng flare up. That's why pasalamat po kami na nandiyan po yung mga specialistang therapist niya na nag-aalaga. Every time na nagkakaroon ng warning, alam na nila yung dapat nilang gawin. So, yeah.
Yes. Salamat po. I had the chance to interview EJ back in late 2019, At hindi namin gaano napag-usapan niyang tungkol sa kanyang naging injury and how he was able to recover. But na-discuss ho ninyo in detail, yung recovery effort ni EJ Obiena. Maraming salamat po, coaches. Maraming salamat po. Punta naman ako dun sa sa ating mga NAS officials, National Academy of Sports. Itatanong ko lang, sorry, medyo na-late ako. Pero kailan nyo sinimulan ito? And meron ba kayong naging template in coming up with sports academy? Kasi naalala ko, there was a time parang may mga exchange conferences or meetings with the National Academy of Sports of Australia, and meron din sa Korea na ginawa ang Philippine Sports Commission. Meron ba kayong pinagbasihan ito or talagang ginawa ninyo ito to suit the conditions of the Philippines and the Filipino athletes sa ating po mga NAS?
Hello, Sir Ron. Thank you for that. Yes, actually, before we came in, or before I came in, before I was appointed, the National Academy of Sports again was created by virtue of Republic Act 11470. So
Right.
this was established to provide secondary education with a special curriculum in sports. So yun ang naging basehan kung bakit nagkaroon ng academy, Sir Ron. Meron siyang batas. It's in the law. That's why, yeah.
Does that mean that those who enroll or those who are recruited in the NAS also get a degree in sports, which is equivalent to a college degree? Meron ho pang ganong program?
Yeah, that's a very good point. In fact, the National Academy of Sports will be accepting grade 7 for now, but this will be up to grade 12. Ibig sabihin, because of the uniqueness of the curriculum in sports, our students will have a choice whether to pursue in sports or even in entrepreneurship. So we will be coordinating with CHED, because we are also preparing them for some exit points when they pursue a course in the college. So in essence, Sir Ron, we are preparing our athletes to have a better life and a better career. They have a career after NAS. So yun ang magiging pride namin, that our students, after they finish their schooling in NAS, they have a career. And that's why we really want them to value education during their stay in the National Academy of Sports, Ron.
Okay. And which particular place at New Clark City are you hosted, or saan po yung inyong academy? Doon po sa New Clark City.
This was mentioned earlier by DED Bong. We are, if I don't know, sir, if you were able to visit the 2019, the closing ceremony of the 2019 SEA Games, kung mapapansin nyo, there's an athletes village. We are just across the athletes village, in between the park, River Park. There you go, the River Park. So after the River Park, nandoon ang location ng campus ng National Academy of Sports, is inside the New Clark City.
And how many athletes or students can you accommodate in that facility? And syempre siguro they will also stay there, no? Yung mga...
Yes, it's a boarding school. It's a boarding school, Ron. It's a boarding school. For now, for this year, for grade 7, incoming grade 7, they're about 65. But our target is 150. That's our target, no? Kasi may implication sa budget pag more than, but that is our target, no? Target to accept is 150 per grade level. So pag na-complete na yung grade 7 to 12, we have a population of about 900, no less than about 800, a little more than 800 students. Pag yung full force na from grade 7 to 12.
And when do you expect to have the full force? Anong time?
That will be after 6 years from now. Tama ba ko? Yeah, starting ngayon at 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, by 2026. We have about that kind of population in the school already, excluding, of course, the teachers, the coaches, and other personnel.
That's very interesting, Ma'am Joy. Naalala ko lang pala, because one time, early 2000, I think 2003 or 2004, I had a chance to go to Pyongyang, in North Korea, together with our boxing delegation. First time nagpadalang Pilipinas ng isang sports delegation in that invitational boxing competition in Pyongyang. And doon sa kanilang yung boxing stadium, katabi nun, para siyang malaking Rizal Memorial Sports Complex na may kanya-kanyang venue for gymnastics, football. Maganda yung kanilang, and I suppose they also have that a similar academy there, no? But your case, since you'll be situated at New Clark City, napaka-ideal na lugar, no, for your school. And that means, will this mean that you will have access to all the facilities inside the New Clark City?
Yes, that's correct, Ron. Actually, that's how generous BCDA with us, because BCDA, because of the existing world-class facilities, to mention the athletic stadium and the aquatic center, we were given access, no, to use those existing world-class facilities. And Ron, looking forward, no, the NAS will also be building and providing world-class facilities to our students. So meron din tayong by phases, no, hindi natin bibiglain. So by phases now, for now, Ron, ongoing yung infra. Ang inuumpisahan syempre yung administration and academic building, and also the multipurpose gym, so that will accommodate eksakto. We have 65 students to accommodate and to train.
Wow, that's something to look forward to. My last question, because the last time I was at New Clark City was in 2019, no, during the Southeast Asian Games. Nakapit na ako doon 2 or 3 times, no. And I noticed at the time, although there were trees, no, around the area, maliliit pa. So I don't know what's the condition now. Lumaki na ba yung mga puno? Because you mentioned about the ideal situation there, maraming greenery, maraming space.
Yeah.
So how at New Clark City now?
Right now, we visited 2 days ago, so we were just there, no. We swing by after our signing of MOU with Region 3. Ngayon, it's still really full of trees, no? Kagaya kung napasyalan mo yung River Park, hindi ginalaw yon kasi that is really the main attraction. Dito yung mga recreational and all the relaxing, or alam mo yon, yung mga activities nila by the greens, they're beside, they can hear the sound of the water, yung birds chirping, it's very conducive to learning and very relaxing, kaya napakaganda ng environment talaga sa NCC. Makikita din, syempre makikita yung buildings, and then there will be a soon to rise NAS, no, doon sa loob. Kaya maganda talaga yung naging conceptual plan sa NCC.
So yung sinasabi niyong River Park parang oxygen park.
Yeah, oo. Relaxation park and area. Yeah. Ano yun maganda kasi meron silang mga nilagay doon na mga mini amphitheaters, they have amphitheaters there, they have a place where they can also study, alam mo yun, merong mga ganon, no, study areas, so maganda.
Wow, looking forward to it at sana makabisita rin kami.
Of course, once it's gonna be finished, no, hindi pwedeng hindi kayo maimbitahan doon, Sir Ron, of course, your team from TOPS.
Maraming pong salamat, Ma'am Joy, at balik sa iyo, Ernest.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Ron. No? Introduce lang natin si Coach Ariel Vanguardia, ang interim head coach ng Blackwater Bossing. Coach Ariel, nandiyan na ba kayo? Teka, nag-ayos pa yata si Coach. No? Sir Ed? Sir Ed, balik ko sa inyo yung mic.
Yes, thank you, Ernest. No, while waiting kay Coach Ariel, panangin ko ulit si Ma'am Joy saka si Sir Bong. No, Ma'am Joy, 2 weeks ago naging guest namin dito sa TOPS Usapang Sports si IOC Executive Board Member Mikey Kuwangko Jaworski, and isa sa mga napag-usapan namin dito sa Usapang Sports is yung pag-allow ng IOC sa mga transgender athletes natin sa Olympics. Simula nung Tokyo Olympics nga, meron na mga transgender athletes. Dito po ba sa NASA, have you discussed kung paano po ang gagawin natin dito? I-allow niyo po ba yung mga transgender athletes natin dito, kung meron mang mai-recommend ng mga NSAs natin, pwede rin po ba sila rito sa National Academy of Sports?
Nako, magandang tanong yan, Sir Ed. I'm sorry. Am I on? Sorry.
Yes, Edie, you're on.
Okay. Actually, magandang, in fact, I remembered, Bong, when we were heading back to Manila, we just discussed that, yung very sensitive matter. But Sir Ed, I cannot make a statement for now, no? But this will be definitely in discussion. So far, ang malinaw sa batas at sa aming IRR is the inclusion education, no? Inclusive education, which is the acceptance and accepting PWDs, IPs, no? In the campus. But we haven't really discussed yet about the issue on transgender. That will be really should be discussed further and deliberated further, no? So yun lang muna, Sir Ed. I cannot really make a statement for now. But thank you so much for bringing that up. So we will really be considering the topic, no? Yeah. But we are not closing our doors to that, Sir Ed, no? Yan ay magiging magandang topic, no, for the academy. Yes.
Edie, if I may add.
Bong, you might want to add, Bong.
Again, in the design of the infrastructure, we're also trying to make it future ready. So there are gender neutral bathrooms that are being prepared also in the design and construction of the facility. So as Edie Joy mentioned, it's something that we will monitor. And as I mentioned earlier, we will find our place in the whole national sport development program. And if that is the direction that the POC, the NSAs, and the PSCs start to take in the near future, we will closely study it as it may apply to our academy as well po.
Yes, Sir Bong, nabanggit nga ni Mikey before na nire-review pa rin yung mga rules sa transgender athletes, and right now ang recommendation ng IOC is sa mga NSAs natin na kung ano yung direction na ginagawa ngayon ng mga international federations nila, yung din ang sundin ng mga NSAs natin, no? So kagaya nga na nabanggit mo yung mga infrastructure sa mga transgender athletes, isa sa mga major consideration. Anyway, thank you Coach Bong na Ma'am Joy. Ernest, kasama na natin si Coach Ariel Vanguardia, ang bagong appoint na coach ng Blackwater Bossing. Coach Ariel, thank you for joining us and welcome to TAPS. Maybe you want to say something bago kami mag-question sa iyo, Coach Ariel?
Hi, good morning sa inyong lahat at good morning sa mga kasama natin dito at nanonood ng ating programa. So TAPS, it's an honor to be here and it's my first time. And thank you for inviting me.
Yes, thank you Coach Ariel. Before naging panauhin na namin din dito si Sir Joseldo, at marami siya mga nabanggit na programa. So ang unang tanong ko, Coach, can you give us an update dito sa Blackwater Bossing? You were appointed as coach, no, replacing si Coach Nas, and ano ba ang mga programa at direksyon na gusto mong tahakin dito sa Blackwater? Ano ba mga hakbang na ginagawa nyo ngayon ng management para ma-regain yung competitive spirit, yung winning ways ng bossing sa susunod na PBA conference?
Right now, sir, ini-evaluate pa lang namin kung ano nangyari doon sa bubble kasi hindi nga ako kasama doon. So siyempre yung mga pagkakataon na malaman ko yung kumbaga yung mga saloobin ng mga players. So bukas mag-start ako ng mga interview one-on-one, exit interview with all of our players. So doon malalaman natin what happened sa sa technical side of the matter. So but we were watching film na about the games. Yun, nakapanood ko naman yung most of the games. Nabuo na rin yung coaching staff. By tomorrow, i-announce ng management yung kabuuan ng bagong coaching staff. So doon pa lang, then we will make recommendations on how we can improve the lineup. Definitely, there's gonna be changes in the lineup that will fit siyempre kung ano yung gusto ko naman ma-achieve or nababagay doon sa gusto kong gawin sa team.
Coach, alam natin na mahaba-haba na rin yung mga experience mo sa coaching, no? Nag-coach ka na rin sa PBA, sa JRU, sa NCAA, and even sa ABL, no? Dito sa Blackwater Bossing, ano pa ang mga kailangan mong gawin para mas mabalik yung dating lakas at kumpiyansa ng team? At dito sa mga present lineup mo, ilan ba ang mga expiring contracts dito?
Ako, yun nga, yun ang medyo maraming expiring contracts after the next conference ba naman kasi yung mga expired na this conference like Kelly and Basel, in-extend na namin hanggang next conference, hanggang the end of the season for next conference. So pero after the second conference, meron kaming almost 12 na expiring. So maganda rin dahil we have a lot of draft picks coming up and alam naman natin maraming changes na mangyayari after the conference. Usually dyan yung mga movements ng bawat mga team. So yun, pag-aaralan namin kung sino talaga yung mag-fit, kung sino talaga yung yes, nabanggit ko nga sa mga previous interview kung sino talaga yung gustong at proud na isuot yung Blackwater na uniform. Kasi siyempre, ayaw mong ma-associate na talo eh. Siyempre, natural tendency naman ng natin ng mga ayaw natin ma-associate. Pero it will only come from the players themselves or kami, na coaching staff, na talagang i-embrace namin na ito yung team natin. Let's be proud of this team. Sadly, hindi ko nakikita yon kahit hindi naman ito lang season na to or we've always been kumbaga siyempre expansion team. So if you give me a choice kung maglalaro ka sa much higher budget team, yun ang pinipili mo. Pero hindi ganoon eh. You're in the PBA. Hindi naman kung i-compare mo sa NBA, lahat siyempre gusto mo maglaro sa high budget team o yung mga team na like Lakers pero nakaka-compete yung mga Atlanta Hawks or yung mga yung mga low kumbaga medium size budget team. So nakaka-compete sila dahil proud sila na wearing uniform. So yun nga yung ko sa team muna, i-change muna namin yung culture bago sa tingin ko na talagang magko-consistent na manalo.
Thank you for the answers, Coach. Ernest, I'm sure yung mga kasama natin na may mga questions din. Of course, kasama pa rin natin ngayon sina Ma'am Joy saka sila Sir Bong and of course si Sir Emerson maybe yung mga kasama natin itatanong din.
Sige sir. Now, isang question lang ako muna Sir Coach Ariel Coach, sinabi niyo you're looking for changes in this upcoming season. After assessing the team, is there a priority position that you are looking for na i-boost sa koponan?
Yes. The way Baser hasn't really flourished in the Blackwater uniform. So, yun, unang-una kong kakausapin na para tingnan natin kung paano natin mapapalabas yung laro ni Baser. Pero I've always, most of my teams that I coach or develop, I rely heavily on a very good point guard. So, and si Baser, yun yung mold na point guard na gusto ko rin eh. So, gusto ko nga siyang makausap na paano ba natin mapapalabas yung laro mo. But if not, meron akong mga free agents na tinitingnan na point guard na when I was a consultant sa MPBL, nag-practice sa akin, nagustuhan ko naman. And we're already in negotiation with him. So we're gonna release if nakasign na siya by Friday. So yun ang number one move for a point guard. Kasi naniniwala ako na for a team that doesn't have much talent, hindi pwede yung equal opportunity na opensa kasi you will have someone that will be taking the shots ng pagka mababa na yung shot clock na ayaw mo naman siyang tumira, or you'd rather have Simon Enciso take the 3-point shot than a Magat or even a Frank Golia, di ba? So doon matitibon kumbaga ng isang magaling na point guard na para so I've always been very heavily reliant on a very good point guard sa mga teams ko. Even in JRU, Kagoko Bulangis, sa ABL, I had Justin Melton, McCarthy, Jason Brickman, and sa Phoenix, I had Simon, I had RJ Azul. So talagang yun yung first na posisyon na inaano ko. Sabi nga nila, extension ng coach yan eh.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Una pong magtatanong si Ivan Saldayano ng Philippine News Agency at Dugout Philippines. Ivan.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Ernest. Coach AB to, yun nga. Pag-usapan natin yung flow.
Yes. Okay ba?
Coach, ito, yes. Coach, ito, parang you-mention na parang may possibility na mag-full revamp ang Blackwater. Does that mean we're really expecting trades during the conference break? Mga major trades coming up?
Of course, that's always on the table if we can get a favorable trade. But right now, di ba, napakahirap makipag-trade at this moment kasi all the budgets has been made and pero we're entertaining offers from other teams that I cannot mention pa ngayon kasi syempre, pero we're talking with teams and meron ng mga coaches at saka mga team managers na tumawag sa akin kung meron akong gusto sa lineup nila or meron silang gusto sa amin, meron ng mga discussions na ganyan and pinaparating ko naman sa management yung mga ganong pagkakataon. So right now kasi uunahin namin na evaluate muna yung team or what happened, then saka namin bubuksan pa dahil hindi pa rin naman tapos yung conference. So yung iba naglalaro pa rin. So free agents muna inuuna namin bago yung mga trades.
Okay, so Coach, ito, may bala kasi nga the next conference is nga coming up, so baka reinforce, so may na ba kayo sakaling payagan na yung mga reinforce, may na ba kayo na sa mga imports?
Well, yan yung isa sa ko eh. I've always been in contact with a lot of coaches in the States at saka mga agents. So every time naman meron akong network of imports na prospects kasi sa ABL marami tayong na diyan eh na meet ng mga and I've always been in contact with through the Hoop Coaches International. So maraming mga G League coaches na until now we're in contact. So yun, may mga options na kung matuloy man na that's good also for us. It will strengthen our lineup. It's an import is always an equalizer if you can get a Eugene Phelps type of an import. Although he's in Japan right now na rin. So yung mga ganun mold, medyo magkakaroon ka na agad ng big man, which is obviously that's our biggest disadvantage versus the other teams.
Okay. So coach, one more question to. Ano lang yung goal niyo for next conference? Assuming na either reinforce o baka all Filipino ulit, anong goal niyo?
Siyempre, yun, balik yung competitiveness ng team. Balik yung fire, yung fight, yung pride, di ba? Na lumaban sa maging proud na Blackwater sila, yung makita na talagang yung malasakit na suot mo yung uniform. Yun muna. Then I think winning will take care of itself.
Thank you, Coach Obiena. So,
Salamat
Coach
din.
Emer
Salamat
naman.
din.
Coach Emer, salamat, Coach. Coach Emer, ito, corollary lang from an earlier question. Okay, so, you mentioned na nagka-major injury si EJ. So, ECL. So, were you surprised na this scare he was still able to breach 5.9? Kasi parang sabi mo yata before, baka mag-compete siya for medals sa Olympic, kailangan maka 5.9 siya. Yan na, naka 5.9 na nga.
Actually, sir, yung do sa progress niya habang titraining siya, papasok nung Asian Games na ilang buwan pa lang yun after ng injury niya, naka-recover siya. And tinitingnan namin yung mga physical test niya, performance test niya. Posible pa rin naman talaga na lumapit siya doon sa kanyang pinaka-potential. And nung bago mag-Olympics, pagpasok po nung outdoor season, yung mga simula ng mga laro niya nung outdoor, dahan-dahan nakikita po namin na yung hip clearance po nung kanyang sa over the bar was like somewhere doon sa 5.9 meters plus. So, ang lang nung time na yun, he just need more time and competition to be able to polish yung skill niya and to be able to move up to a bigger pole. So, it happened. He was able to do that 5.93 ngayon. And doon sa 5.93 na yun, hindi pa perfect po yung movement na yun. So, nakikita ko meron pa po talaga improvement. I mean, he has a lot to improve doon sa line niya with the pole, yung pagtapon sa kanya, being able to maximize the potential of that recoil and cross the bar. So, 593 with some more room for improvement, and let's see what will next season bring.
Okay. So how was the rehab like? He came from an ACL injury. ACL, it would take 6 to 9 months, maybe a full year to recover. But yet you still see EJ Obiena scoring 5.93. So how was the rehab like?
Continuous ang rehab eh. So even until now, he still do some strengthening works for that injured leg. And the PT, his physical therapist there is helping him. And of course, the PT who helped him go back to running, which is Marvin Pangilinan. He's also in constant communication with him, and nagbibigay pa rin si Marvin ng mga pointers sa kanya on how he would continue on strengthening that part. Yes.
Ma-add ko lang,
Alright.
Sir Ivan, sabi nga ni EJ, it's already part of his life.
Yes.
So every time he needs to move, he needs to strengthen before he could do some more. So kadikit na yan, nandun na.
So one last lang. Kay Coach, wala. may two coach siya. So, kay Coach Bong naman. Yun. Coach Bong, ito, may balang. For an earlier question. Coach Bong?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're breaking up. If I can get the question again, sir. Sir
Yeah.
Ivan.
So, when will you plan to bring yung team sports sa NAS?
Thank you for that question regarding team sports. So it's always something for review and for study and consultation with the guidance of our board of trustees. No, needless to say, we are always open to talks with them. In fact, even this year, we already had talks with Philippine Futsal Federation, a branch of PFF. We also had talks with the Cycling Association. And may team events din ang cycling, no. We're always open to that. We just have to keep studying it. Again, we have had the opportunity to do online meetings with academies from abroad, no. Some of the really good academies. So we also try to understand the challenges that they went through and try to benefit from the experience of academies like INSEP of France, no, kung saan galing si Tony Parker, no, which is one of the top sport academies of France, and them being the next host of the Olympics. We also were able to study the system of Singapore in their National Youth Sport Institute and the Singapore Sports School, as well as we had meetings with Aspire Academy of Doha, Qatar, the main academy in Qatar that will be hosting the FIFA competitions. And then we also had benchmarking with Japan Sports Institute just before the Olympics, and also South Australia and another academy in Spain. So we benchmark and also try to study how other academies chose the sports that they would focus on. And we continue to consult this with our board of trustees as well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes with regard to team sports.
Okay, thank you, Coach Bong. Thank you, everyone. Ernest?
Okay, maraming salamat, Ivan. Ang sunod pong magtatanong si Gerard Arce. Gerard? Gerard? Diyan ka na? Okay, thank you.
Yun, good. Saan sila kayo nakamasa ko ngayon? Good morning po. Yan, good morning po sa... Thank you, Ernest. First question ko siguro kay Coach Emerson. Hello po, Coach. Good morning po.
Hi, good morning, Gerard.
Hello po, sir. Coach, puro tayo kanina sa Olympics eh. Medyo atras lang ako ng konti kasi next year kasi Asian Games eh. So, nakikita nyo ba? Or kayo, siyempre kayo kayo po ni Ma'am, nakikita nyo ba kay Ernest na parang siya na yung pinakamagaling ngayon sa Asian level? Or napapansin nyo ba ngayon na parang siyempre nabura niya na yung bagong record na 5.93 ni Igor? Sa tingin niyo po ba siya yung pinaka mahusay ngayon sa Asian level? Nakikita niya po ba?
Base sa performance niya ngayon, nandoon siya sa position na yun. Pero siyempre, lahat ng mga atleta nagtitraining yan eh. So, hindi natin masasabi kung ano yung mangyayari sa mga susunod pang mga buwan, no? So, meron din namang mga magagaling na pole vaulter lalo na ang East Asia, no? In China, ang Japan, ang South Korea, meron mga 580 plus jumpers yan. And ang Kazakhstan also, meron din silang mga nasa 560, 570 na mga pole vaulters. So, ang ano na lang dyan, yung just to continue on improving, being able to maintain and be more consistent dun sa higher heights na yun. Tingin ko, it's more on dun sa consistency dun ng labanan. Kasi it's yung 580 saka 570, 580, 590, hindi yan magkakalayo. Minsan, by increment lang nung progression ng bar, pag napunta yan sa alanganin na increment, halimbawa 575, tapos yung isa 580 jumper, yung isa 570 jumper. On a good day, that 570 jumper will make a PB. And that 580 jumper, pwede niyang ma-overtake by number of attempts lang. Halimbawa, PB na siya, tapos first attempt niya nakuha yung height na yun, parehong nakuha nila, on count back, he'd be able to win. So, ang daming kasi ng pole vault maraming on how to win. Pero ang importante doon yung being able to clear that on your first attempt, being able to be more consistent, doon po yung labanan doon.
Ang maganda lang dyan, Sir Gerald, is it would be a very exciting game.
Yeah.
It would be a very exciting game kasi marami po sila.
Opo. Ma'am, may tatanong sana ako, may follow-up pa ho sana ako, kaso nag-message po sila Ma'am Joy. Tatanong lang po ako, sandali lang po. May tanong lang po kay Ma'am Joy tsaka kay Sir Bong. Apo, thank you po. Ma'am Joy, Sir Bong, tanong ko lang po regards po sa ating mga athletes. Kasi po, di ba, sabi niyo po kanina, parang, syempre, yung junior high is yung sakop ng ating NAS. So, pagkatapos po ba ng NAS, kamusta po yung mga student athletes natin? Ano po bang plano natin? Meron po ba tayong specific schools or colleges, university na pwede nating ilagay yung ating mga athletes para at least syempre, sabi nyo, in preparation for being a good athletes and as well maging mabuting estudyante, may future kumbaga. Meron na po ba tayong targets na mga ganong school, university in the future po?
Yeah. Hi Gerard, maraming salamat sa question mo. Actually, wala pa sa ngayon. But of course, in close coordination with CHED, we will be able to identify already yung mga universities na pwede nilang papasukan. No? Depende kasi yan sa career choices ng mga bata. No? Kasi hindi namin sila pipilitin. Kung anong gusto nila, yun ang magiging entry nila sa kolehiyo. Gerard, gusto ko lang din banggitin na hindi naman din siya malilimit dito lang sa ating bansa. If during the course of their exposure internationally at meron silang, of course, meron silang mga interest if they want to also get a scholar abroad, that will also be a good exit point for them. No? Hindi namin sila pipigilan kung talagang napakagaling nila sa academics at saka yung if they still also want to pursue a course which these colleges and universities here and abroad will offer, then freely they can take what they want to take as a career. No? Yeah, Sir Gerard.
Wala, yun. Ma'am, next question po, ma'am. Officially po ba itong mga ating mga student athletes sa juniors, part sila ng national team? Tama po ba? Tama po ba yung natin doon, perspective natin? National team members na po sila?
Ganito yan, Gerard. Since they will be competing and will be representing the country and they will be wearing the flag, I mean, of course, iba kasi pag sinabi mo national team kasi itong mga to, meron kasi we are in close coordination with PSC. No? Siyempre, if they will represent the Philippines, they will carry the flag. No? Kung sabihin natin national athletes sila, then I think they are because they will be representing our country. No? Kasi iba din kasi yung pag sinabi mong national athlete ka lang, then that will be under the supervision of the Philippine Sports Commission. But of course, since they are in NAS, and if they will complete abroad, then I think that's obviously the Philippine flag will be carried.
Ayun. Follow up din po. Dumami tuloy yung tanong ko. Tuloy ng bigla. Ito po ba mga batang to, maglalaro pa sila ng mga palarong pambansa, mga ganon, dadalhin pa nila yung, kasi kahit pasok na sila sa NAS?
Ayun. Actually, unfortunately, they cannot compete already in palarong pambansa. And kaya nga sabi nga nila, parang nako, ang lakas-lakas nata ng Region 3 kasi meron ng NAS, no? Actually, kami ay nagagalak, no? Kasi meron din talagang mga athletes from Region 3 that are being admitted in NAS, no? So itong mga bata natin, itong mga estudyante, as I mentioned earlier, they will be competing at a different level. There may be national competitions here. So yun yung mga selected competitions that syempre kami ay umaasa din, no, sa mga gagawing competition ng mga NSAs locally. So kung ano man yung kung meron silang maisasuggest sa amin na mga national level competitions, then our students will be able to participate and compete. So yun nga lang, hindi na sila makakalaro sa palarong pambansa.
Yun. Hindi na malinaw doon. Pero last question po, ma'am. With regards po sa international competition, kasi nga po, meron tayong mga, siyempre, ang bawat NSAs, meron mga grassroots yan eh. So may mga inaalagaan din po yan. At the same time, meron din pong NAS. So, ang ibig po bang sabihin nito, magkukumpit pa yung dalawa, yung mga grassroots ng NSA and the NAS athletes, student athletes. Most probably kapag primary international competition po ba, syempre hindi po ba kayo yung pinaka main choice for Youth Olympics, Youth Games? Syempre yun po yung mga mga tournaments na lalaruan ng mga junior high school natin eh. So ganun po ba yung magiging status noon? Paano po ba yung magiging labanan doon na po?
Tama ka doon, no? Kaya nga we are also in close coordination with NSAs and NSAs kasi nga yung mga kung ano man yung mga exposures na meron sila na pwede naming salihan when our students will be ready to compete, no? Then we will allow our students to compete naman, and that is also an added exposure and also isa din yan sa mga goals namin so that they'll be able to build their confidence, no, and their level of competitiveness. But syempre kailangan merong in close coordination nga yan. So syempre yung mga coaches, maganda dapat ang relasyon, no, ng bawat isa so that the NAS will be able to calendar all these events na hindi naman din mawawala dun sa academic calendar. Kasi nga, sabi ko nga, Gerard, the National Academy of Sports is not a training center alone. No? They will be here as students. So kailangan hindi ma-hamper or hindi maapektuhan yung kanilang academics at saka yung mga requirements na kailangan for them to fulfill in their academic journey.
So, ayun, maliwanag na po sa lahat. Mga special na mga bata po yung nasa NAS kasi student athletes po. So talagang pag dalawang klase po ng iba kasi pag nasa public school kasi iisip nila mga matatalinong bata kasi sa mga aral lang po talaga karamihan. Pero yun po. Marami pong salamat, Ma'am Joy, Sir Ed. Marami pong salamat. Thank you very much po.
Thank you din, Gerard.
Tatalon po uli ako kay Sir Emer tsaka kay Ma'am
Gerard, bago tayo magpatuloy, no, kasi I think they have to leave na. So baka we can have a picture taking muna, no, and then we have a few more minutes after this, no. So kailangan natin medyo madaliin. Okay, can we have everyone to open their cameras?
Pasensya na, Sir Ernest, kasi we have a budget briefing, no?
Okay. Open po cameras at yung natin, mga photographers, can we have them on cue? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smile po tayo. Okay, and then we go back to Gerard now. Thank you po, Ma'am Joy. And Sir Emil, thank you po.
Thank you
po.
Sir
Chris, thank you po.
Thank you, Ernest, Sir Ed. Thank you po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Ma'am Joy.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Gerard,
Gerard,
thank you po. Yun, tatanong ulit ako. Sir Emer, tsaka ma'am, follow up ko lang po sa tanong ko kanina being sa Asian level po. Do you see Ernest wins gold medal sa Asian Games? Yun po.
We're hoping. Yun lang masasabi ko. We are hoping.
Yes, we're hoping for it. And definitely it will be Sabi ko nga kanina, it will be a good fight. Magandang competition yan kasi dikit-dikit lahat.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Sa tingin niyo, sir, kasi syempre, sana hopefully, pag nanalo si EJ sa Asian Games, syempre, medyo talagang tataas talaga yung kanyang kumpiyansa na talaga madadala niya sa Olympics. So sa tingin niyo ba, itong Asian Games na to, crucial point to, pagdating sa confidence level, syempre, mas tsaka yung laro ni EJ, mas tataas pa ba dahil dito?
Lahat po ng mga competition, lalo pong high level, that's gonna help build confidence for EJ. So Asian Games is also part of the calendar niya para mag-compete. Yes.
May unbox tayo. Sir, etong kay Mondo, nakita nyo ba, naabot niya na yung peak niya? And sa
Mondo.
next po doon, Mondo, nakita nyo ba na kuha niya na yung peak niya? And next question po, sir, kung tingin nyo po ba masusurpass or maabot ni EJ yung 6 points something? Kasi parang yan yung, kasi hindi makuha ni hindi makuha ni Mondo yung 6.8, 19 na parang ilang beses siya nag-try pero hindi niya makuha Tingin niyo pa ba yun na yun? Doon na siya?
Ganito I don't think yun na yung maximum ni Mondo. I mean, he's young. He's only 21 years old. And katulad nga na sinabi ko, sometimes you need like parang katulad ng vulkan yan bago magkaroon ng breakthrough, nag-iipon muna ng pressure tapos biglang boom. So, pwede kong ihambing yung pole vaulting sa ganyan. Sometimes pagka yung meron kang technique or meron kang skill na gustong masterin, and it will take some time before you will be able to like master it and be able to be stable, yung ma-establish mo yung skill na yon sa'yo. Then saka mo lang talaga magagamit yan. Especially kung halimbawa sa competition na may pressure nakasama. So I don't think nasa ceiling na siya ng kanyang potential. And with EJ, I don't think nasa ceiling din siya ng kanyang potential. Ang nakikita ko lang, based on observation, before, malayo ang diferensya. I think it's like more than half a meter. And then the gap is closing. So we'll never know what's their 100%. Iba-iba ang dating ng mga pole vaulters. Merong iba na, okay, at the age ng junior nila, they'll be jumping like 5'90". But then after that, pagdating nila ng senior years nila, open, they will improve maybe just 5 cm hanggang mag-retire sila. So meron pong mga ganun, at a very young age, nag-boom. And then pagdating nila ng 21 and onwards hanggang mag-retire, ang din-improve nila, mga 5 cm na lang. Meron namang iba na they started at a very not very low, pero not really we will not say na he's exceptional, but continuously going up as they mature. Gradual, dahan-dahan. So iba-iba So we can never tell kung ano mangyayari sa mga susunod na taon pa.
Sige, Coach. Marami pong salamat, Coach. Sa Coach Emer. Salamat po, ma'am. Thank you po. Patalan po kay Coach Ariel. Sir, Coach, good morning po.
Yes, good morning.
Yun. Coach, ano ko lang, clarify lang po. Kasi, syempre, mahirap po maghula. At least manggaling na po sa inyo, sir. Coach, kayo na po ba talaga yung official or i-announce na po? Kasi, syempre, wala pang announcement kung talagang wala na si Coach Nash. Interim, kasi ibig sabihin pag interim parang papalit. So sir, kayo na talaga po ba yung official na head coach ng team?
Tingin po, opo, dahil yung meeting na po kami. Yun po.
Wala kasi malinaw, kasi iba sabihin, babalik o magkaganon na po. Pero po, Coach, yung tanong ko po, kamusta po yung ng mga players? Kasi having one of the pangit yung record, ano po ba yung ng mga bata ngayon ng mga players natin? Na yung mentalidad nila, yung kanilang nararamdaman ngayon, na having that that record. Then yung pagpasok nyo po as new coach, ano po yung nabago sa mga players? Nag-lighten up ba sila? Parang ano po ba yung nakita natin sa mga players?
Honestly, kakalabas lang nila ng bubble kasi. So, and hindi naman ako kasama doon sa bubble sa Pampanga. So, bukas ko pa sila talaga makakausap. Although siyempre may mga nag-congratulate sa akin ng mga players and may mga nag-reach out na, mga ganun. Pero wala pa talagang discussion on how they feel, or I'm sure. Siyempre, ayoko naman silang tanungin agad or anuin agad dahil I'm sure they feel bad. That's the competitive nature naman nila. Dahil siyempre, everybody wants to win and compete. I'm sure they're disappointed also. So yun, doon namin siguro paghuhugutan yung disappointment na yun para makabawi. Alam mo naman tayo mga Pilipino, gusto natin bumawi, gusto nating malampasan yung mga pagsubok, kumbaga. So this is what doesn't kill you will make you better. I'm sure this experience will make us better, will make everyone better, and will make the team better. Yun muna. Kaya nyo, after ng mga meeting ko bukas, the next week, and then magkakaroon na siguro tayo mas klaro na direksyon.
Coach, may nabanggit kayo kanina may free agents. Pwede ba tayong magbigay ng konting, alam niyo na po, kung sino po ba yung target natin na free agents?
Well, kinausap ko si Val Chauca, which played for which was signed by Token Texts I think last season, but wasn't able to get a break. He played very well in the UAP as a one and done with Adamson. So and he practiced with me when I was a consultant sa MPBL with the Manila Stars. So before siya mag-decide na he's gonna play in the UAP. So he's the one, we're talking, and he's a free agent. Maganda naman yung reviews ko with the other coaches na nakausap ko on him. And then we're looking at others na medyo yung iba nasa field basket. So like Jamo Kilos, I'm familiar with him. So tinanong ko lang naman kung hindi naman siguro tayo matatampering kasi free agent siya. So tinanong ko naman kung kamusta siya, kung saan niya. Si Jamo kasi 6'6" din yun So meron siyang field basket. So yung mga ganun. And then we're looking at the list. Diba? Yung iba kasi nasa 3-on-3. So we're asking if free agent ba sila or the 3-on-3 team owns their rights for the 5-on-5. So yung mga ganun, inaalam pa rin natin.
Good, Coach, kasi pansin namin, yun nga, sabi nyo kanina si Baser, ano ba yung status po ni Baser? Pag pipirma po ba siya? Ano po ba? Alis po ba siya? Ano po bang, paano po
Well,
ba?
Basel, we extended his contract until the end of the season. So automatic extension until the end of the season. Yun yung information na binigay sa akin ng management. Same with Kelly Nabong.
Same with, injured po si Kelly, no? Tama po ba, sir?
Right now, he's still injured.
Apo. Sabi niyo, sir, kaya 12 yung parang parang mawawala sa team.
Hindi naman mawawala. Hindi naman mawawala.
Mag-expire yung contract. So ilan doon? Apo. Ilan coach yung i-renew?
I-evaluate pa namin siyempre. Depende rin yung sa ilalaro nila next conference, di ba? So yun yung so at least yun nga hindi kami tied up with long-term contracts with the most of our players. So yung mga rookies lang namin saka yung mga mga like I think CBC and Simon Inciso, yun yung mga may mga longer term contracts so far as I can remember on the list.
Sige, Coach. Coach, ibalik ko muna sa kanila. Baka may tanong po yung ibang kasama namin. Thank you po.
Okay,
Maraming
salamat.
Medyo
Thanks,
overtime na tayo, no?
Gerard.
Pero coach, bato lang ako ng konting tanong, no?
Sige.
Actually, yung Blackwater for this season parang walang first round pick, no, for nung PBA draft. How will you position yourselves na syempre next season, no? May napag-usapan na ba tayo ng long term na this is how we should do on the draft or what, no?
Yes. Yes, may pinag-usapan ng Ernest about the draft picks kasi yun nga yung hindi alam ng tao or hindi masyado na pag-uusapan. Yung mga trades naman na ginawa, meron naman kaming nakuhang mga draft picks para doon. So very very rich yung draft stocks namin for next season. We have 3 first round picks, including the number 1, which because we were last place this conference. So we have the number 1 pick and 2 other picks of other teams that we traded for sa mga previous trade. And then we have 2 second round picks. So that yung second round parang parang late first round ka rin kasi you'll be picking 13th and then the other is pick ng isang team ulit. So we don't know what their ranking pa. So basically we might baka magkaroon kami ng Fab 5 Philippine version, di ba? We'll never know if we can get 5 very good rookies, di ba? So baka maging Fab 5 Philippines.
Okay.
Yung team namin next season. So which is very promising, promising.
Coach, talking about rookies next year, no? Syempre, let's address the elephant in the room, no? Syempre, marami mga rookies that are trying to go to Japan first, no? Parang landing ground muna nila before going to the PBA or returning to the Philippines. Is this going to be something that you will forecast na baka medyo bumaba ang draft pool or quality ng top players that will be coming to the draft next year?
Yes, that's always a concern. Pero meron din namang mga kasi yung rule on the imports on the Japan, sa Korea, or even in Australia, yung rules na on Asian or Philippine imports should be FIBA eligible. So baka maraming PhilAms na nagkaroon ng passport after they're 16, maraming pumasok for next this coming draft. So maganda rin yun. So like Lawrence Subingo, sina Rosser, kapatid ni Martin Norris Rosser, and even Jeremiah Gray, Jason Brickman. So I still think it's gonna be a very deep draft. So for the coming draft, marami pa rin namang mga Filipinos na magagaling. Kaya nga maraming nare-recruit din in overseas. Marami pa rin naman natitira.
Okay, coach, ito last bago tayo magtapos, no. Coach, yung sinabi nyo kanina, Baser Ameres, one of the players na yun nga yung tinitingnan nyo. And sinabi nyo rin na Simon Enciso is one of your players na that you developed during your days in Phoenix. Nakapag-usap na ba kayo on syempre si Simon naging player nyo na rin in the past. Nakapag-usap na ba kayo regarding where the team is heading as well?
Management side pa lang. Yun pa lang yung usap. Wala pa yung with the players, bukas pa lang mag-uumpisa. So I'll have more information on the players. Gusto ko rin sila mapulsohan. Pero with regards to management, the direction, and kung ano yung gusto namin na maging mabuo sa team, napag-usapan na naman namin. So kung anong dapat gawin, kung ano yung kulang, kung ano yung pwedeng i-improve pa, siyempre. So there's a lot of room for improvement, obviously. Kasi nga, medyo hindi na maging maganda yung performance namin.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. No? At,
Thank
yun
you,
na nga.
Ernest, at sa lahat.
At basa ko na po yung mikropono kay Sir Ed Andaya for our final remarks.
Sir Ed, salamat.
Okay, thank you Ernest. No? As usual, overtime tayo. Talagang madami tayong pag-uusapan pagkadating sa sports. No? Bago tayo magpaalam, maybe we can ask si Sir Emerson and si Ma'am Janet for the parting remarks. Sir Emerson and Ma'am Janet, thank you for joining us dito sa TAPS.
Yeah, again, thank you very much po for inviting us to be one of your guests today. And we would like to thank all the viewers who have stayed in with us until now. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you Sir Emerson and Ma'am Janet. No, before hinga natin ng final remarks si Coach Ariel, gusto ko lang i-acknowledge yung presence ni Sir Oliver Gan, ang consultant ng Games and Amusement Board sa GAB, at matagal na din natin kaibigan dito sa TAPS. Thank you for joining us, Sir Oliver.
Thank you. Congrats pala kay Coach.
Yes, okay.
Good morning, GAB consultant Oliver Gan.
Thank you,
At
Sir Oliver.
kay Sir Baham, kanina nanonood si Sir Baham, Chairman Baham Mitra, magandang umaga rin po.
Okay, Coach Ariel, again, thank you for joining us dito sa TAPS at una ka naging panauhin namin since yung appointment mo as head coach ng Blackwater Bossing. Your final remarks or may message ka?
Salamat sa grupo. Ito yung mga grupo alam niyo malamaran din natin tong grupo na to dahil kahit nung nasa Phoenix tayo, lagi tayong sinusulat ng ating mga tabloids. So salamat sa iyo, Sir Ed, at sa lahat. Kumbaga, to borrow Pinoy's message, kayo ang bossing ko. Mga writers, salamat sa inyo at bigyan niyo ako ng pagkakataon.
Okay, thank you Coach Ariel and good luck sa Blackwater Bossing. No? And
salamat.
Of course, before we wrap up, papasalamatan ko ang ating mga sponsors dito sa Weekly Usapang Sports, ang Philippine Sports Commission, ang Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation at ang Games and Amusements Board para sa patuloy nilang suporta dito sa Usapang Sports ng TAPS. Ernest, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Ed, at sa mga sumama sa atin na nag-15-minute overtime tayo ngayon. At
may OT.
Oo nga Coach, no? Pero na-miss ka namin
Okay na yan. Okay sa akin yan, OT. May chance manalo pa ulit sa OT. Diba? Baka OT lang ako sa lahat ng team na kalaban sa PBA, di makakatsamba rin tayo doon. Salamat sa inyo.
Okay, thank you Coach. At with that, dyan po tayo nagtatapos ang TAPS Usapang Sports para sa araw na ito. At again, kung para malaman nyo kung sino yung mga kasunod naming i-guest para sa susunod na linggo, mag-like po tayo sa Facebook page ng Sports on Air. At saka kung nasa YouTube naman po tayo, live din po tayo doon, pwede po kayo mag-subscribe. And with that, dyan po tayo nagtatapos at iwanan namin kayo ng mensahe para sa panahon na to is just to stay safe and God bless.